Hi, Kaizad.
Hello, Monica.
It's such a joy to have you for Confab, a special initiative started by My Big Brand Story to share unique narratives and compelling brand stories.
Thank you for having me. It's a real pleasure.
Lovely. So, Kaizad, we would love to know what does Swirl mean, and why did you choose this amazing brand name?
It's actually an interesting story. Last year, we pivoted our business model from a marketplace platform to a video commerce, platform. And the first product that we launched in the market, we were calling it as Swirl. So Swirl was not a brand name; it was a feature, which was basically a short video, like a 360-degree view of a product. Swirl. So that was the whole
Right,
idea.
right. Oh,
Mm.
okay.
And the feature became very popular, and we started getting requests from a lot of our brands that we work with, that they were telling us, hey, Get Natty sounds good, but Swirl is even better. Why don't you guys rebrand yourselves? And we are like, yeah, that makes sense. It's shorter. It's better sounding, and it certainly has a more global appeal. So that's how we came to this.
Interesting. So, what were the initial challenges that you faced to establish your brand, and how did you garner the initial attraction that is required for any startup like yours to scale up? So, we would love to understand from you how did you, overcome all these initial challenges for your brand.
I think the biggest challenge is always to find the sweet spot with regards to your product that your customers would love to use and would want to advocate to others. That was the hardest thing to achieve. I think after more than 70, 80 iterations of our product, we were able to get to that stage. Took us about at least 2 years to 1.5 to 2 years to be able to find that sweet spot. But I think it was a very interesting journey. The only thing that helped us reach that stage was because we were personally involved when it came to customers. We were talking to them, asking them all the questions about their business, and how is it that we can improve their lives, how can we make their lives easier, better, faster, simpler. And those questions when we kept on asking, and the kind of responses we kept on getting, and then using those responses and implementing on your product strategy, is what eventually helped us to shape our product and get us as close to an early signs of a product market fit as possible. But I think the only solution to that problem is to get yourself involved as a founder and as a founding team member, and that this is something you can't delegate. Until you find a product market fit, you yourself should be involved. Whether you're a technical co-founder or a business co-founder, it doesn't matter. If you don't speak to your customers, the customers will speak to somebody else.
Lovely, interesting. So, Gezat, we would like to understand from you, why did you feel a need to pivot?
Because we were listening to our customers. Our customers during lockdown told us that, can you do WhatsApp video calls or Zoom video conferences and show us your products that you have at the store? We don't need to come to the store. The stores can be shut, but can you just show us those products? And people started filling up Google forms, booking video calling appointments, and we were very shocked because customers who earlier would never ever ever buy a product worth 10, 15, 20,000 online were now all of a sudden willing to make such purchases, but they wanted to see it through videos, because through videos it gave them that real-time interaction. It helped the seller and the buyer connect better, and that is what gave us that eureka moment, that if we can enable interactive features which are specifically used for shopping, and if we can build it on top of video, then we can make the whole shopping experience much more meaningful. Just like how WhatsApp has now made SMS outdated, we believe that video is going to make images and text outdated in every industry. It's already started to happen in education. You see, the Baijus of the world have interactive video features through which the teachers and the students are able to get that classroom, teaching or studying kind of a experience. If that same experience can be created in retail, in e-commerce, the same experience can be created in real estate, also in automobile industry. So we are trying to create use video and create that experience, because we know the customer, we know this industry very well. We have been at it for last 6 years now. We have literally worked with thousands and thousands of brands over the course of last 6 years. So we understand the pulse of this industry, and that's why we decided to take the hard call and pivot to a video commerce SaaS, or a live video commerce SaaS model that we are today.
So how is the landscape of live commerce in India right now?
This just came out 2 weeks ago in Business Standard. Live commerce in India is all set to become $5 billion industry by 2025. And video commerce in particular, as per our research and estimates, could be as big as $35 billion by 2025. Largely, this is going to be driven by the explosion of direct-to-consumer brands in our country and the explosion of social commerce, wherein, because see, at the end of the day, people buy from other people. You may very well buy daily necessities and household items from Amazon, but when it comes to shopping discretionary purchases, or when it comes to buying aspirational products, you want to buy directly from the brand that you trust, or brand that speaks to you in a language that you understand as a consumer. If you can get that experience, then you would want to build a long-term relationship with that brand. And what better way than live commerce to enable that? Because through video, through our technology, not only can you see a product in real time, but you can ask a question, you can send a message directly to the brand, you can leave a voice message, you can shop now, as well as you can connect with the brand directly on their WhatsApp number.
So it's quite interesting, the way this entire landscape is shaping. It's interesting. And the way I read, I think one of your blogs said that Instagram is kind of fueling this entire new landscape, new business model that is emerging. So it's quite interesting. And so I was quite curious to know, we had these sky shops on television, and we used to have something like that. And if we are just trying to connect the dots, these sky shops, tele shops on the television, is it the replacement of the similar thing in a better way, in a more aesthetic way? I was just curious to know that, because that also was doing
that.
Yeah.
You can say that, yes. It is very similar to that, but it's much more deeper connection, because through our technology, the brands can directly connect with their customers, and they get access to customers' data, and they have full control over how the customer experience is, because our technology can be integrated with your website, whether you're on Shopify or WooCommerce. You can use our technology to create video shopping experiences for your customers on social media. It doesn't matter, wherever your customer is digitally, you can reach them. We provide those multiple touch points. And that is how the whole experience gets created for a brand. So in that way, it's very native. It's much more deeper, but at the same time, just like how teleshopping was there, it allows them to demonstrate their products and talk to the customers directly.
So, Kaizad, it's quite interesting to know how this entire thing is shaping up. I'm curious to know, internet penetration is amazing now. We have tier 3, tier 2 towns kind of emerging as new markets. And how do you think this is going to be similar to what has happened in China? Because China has taken this entire industry by storm. So what is your feel of India? So how we are going to fare in this, especially the rural pockets and the smaller towns?
The biggest reason why this exploded in China is because China started implementing 5G since 2016-17. Live commerce was initially, you can say that Alibaba is the pioneer when it comes to live commerce, and it all started in 2017. And now it has become a huge, almost $300 billion plus industry in China. About 13% of total e-commerce is driven through live commerce. The reason is because of better data connectivity, number one, and it's Chinese consumers. They in China, the C2C e-commerce is very extremely big, compared to India, because Chinese consumers are very different. But when it comes to India, the D2C is going to be similar growth like how we have seen C2C in China. Reason is because Indians are more brand centric. Their affinity towards brands are higher, and hence we will see something similar happening, especially with Airtel and Jio. Everybody coming out with 5G now. I think September, October we should get the announcement. And in Japan, the Docomo is already starting to talk about 6G. So if 5G can come, and then the kind of experiences it will create for the users, it will be very different. So I think with a better data connectivity, with more direct to consumer brands, with more consumers coming out of tier 2, tier 3 towns, this industry is just going to explode. As I said, it will become the default. Images will get replaced by videos, text will get replaced by videos. Everything will become video centric because it just makes more sense. It gives you that real life kind of a experience. I mean, look what Netflix did to movie theaters.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's phenomenal. And anybody in the country now it knows Netflix. It's not something they don't know.
exactly.
So the way the penetration has happened is phenomenal. And the way things in India are becoming viral, it's a different ball game actually now.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Days back, I saw in news that some influencers in Australia through live streaming sold a couple of houses. So now you can also sell real estate through live streaming. So it's just a different world that we are going to see with better data connectivity, with more awareness for the end consumers, and more adaptability by both the customer and the business owner towards digitization. And COVID has been kind of a blessing in disguise for the tech industry in that essence.
lovely. So, Kezat, we would love to understand from you what's so unique about your brand.
So we are building a SaaS platform, and the most unique part about it is that it can be integrated with any tech stack, whether you run a Shopify website or WooCommerce or Magento or a custom stack. You can integrate it and create the same video shopping experiences on your own web platform. That's number one. Number two, you can get access to customer data, which gatekeepers of the world like Facebook, Instagram, Google would never do, because they don't want the data of their customers to go out. We actually enable brands to get full control and access to consumer data. So those two things are key. And then our technology also helps brands to retarget the same customers using conversational commerce. So like SMS, WhatsApp, voice call, because see, it's not enough. We want to make sure that if you're a brand, then you can convert a one-time shopper into a lifelong customer. That's our goal. And that is only possible if we allow brands to retarget and remarket and retain their clients using simple tools available. So that is how we have kind of integrated different pieces of the puzzle to make the life of a brand much more easier.
Lovely. So that means that, as you have all this while been saying that it's industry agnostic. So it can apply to any
Yeah.
industry, right?
Yeah, it can apply to any industry, but right now we are focusing on consumer goods industry, e-commerce, direct to consumer, all consumer goods industry, whether it's fashion, beauty, jewelry, lifestyle, as long as you're building a consumer brand or FMCG or F&B, and you're dealing with the end consumer, whether you're selling a physical product or whether you're in the restaurant industry, as long as it's retailed, you can use our solution. But now we are also talking to some clients outside India who want to deploy this in other industries like automobile. We are also speaking to somebody in the real estate industry. So we believe that again, as long as the end consumer is involved and you're building a brand, whether you're selling a product or a service, you can use our technology.
Amazing. That's phenomenal. That's truly incredible. Kaizad, what would be your message for the budding entrepreneurs?
Well, I'm no person to give any message to budding entrepreneurs, not yet. But I think entrepreneurship is not, just. I think one thing I've learned is entrepreneurship is not what people tell you it is. So don't believe anybody if they tell you, that this is entrepreneurship and that is entrepreneurship. And you only get to hear good news on in the media. So all the good things and the dreamy, flowery things in the media is written by journalists and human beings like you and I who are eternally optimistic. So they want to paint a good picture. Entrepreneurship is something that you need to really dedicate kind of your life to it. It's like you have to give everything you have got to it, and that's not easy. That means personal sacrifice, professional sacrifice, and having support system of your mentors, of your family. That all those things combined is the only way that you can weather the storm. And trust me, the storms, not one or two, the storms are going to keep coming if you're an entrepreneur, and you will have to pass through many several storms before you can see light at the end of the day. But that is what makes the whole journey very adventurous and exciting. So yeah, that's all I can share.
Lovely. It's so nice to have you for Confab. So pleasure
Thank
connecting
you, my
with
pleasure.
you and speaking with you and knowing this interesting story of yours. Thank you so much for giving time and sharing your unique brand story.
Thank you, Monica, for having me, and you're doing a great job. So congratulations to you and your team. Please keep doing this. Keep inspiring people. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.